Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking about TRCH and specifically the special dividends that are going to result from TRCH and metamaterials. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. If you'd like to watch more, please make sure to subscribe, and you can join our Discord in the description below, which is totally free, and you can ask me for any clarifications you need for this video. Let's jump right into this one. So TRCH, I really highly recommend it. You watch my previous one. If you would like to know a bit more about metamaterial or TRCH, it's in the description below. For this one, I'm going to give a straight on to the point update. And before moving on, we're going to be discussing today two things, the dividends as well as the closing date. So let's jump right into the dividend part. And I've seen quite a good amount of estimations, including my last video where I speculated about the rough prices around it, and I think I gave it a speculation somewhere around almost $1.70, etc. But here's the thing. I forgot one single thing, is that they do have their total assets, etc. coming in on the quarterly pages here. And so what we need to look at is the total assets. And we see 35,973, that's in thousands, so that's $35 million. Assuming that their total debt, as described in the SEC filings, are converted right now into notes, etc., or cash or paid or in shares, etc. So they're debt free. So they're done. So what we're going to do here is take that 35 million, or almost 36 million, and what we're going to do is we're going to divide it by the amount of shares that are available. So let's say, you know what, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to ignore the outstanding shares, and I'm going to just put it into the flow of 81 million. And what I put here in terms of the calculator is you see 36 million divided by 81 million in terms of the float, we get around 45 cents. This is just based on their valuation from their quarterly back in September. And let's take a little bit of a view on how these assets might have changed to try to get as much of an accurate number as possible. Now towards the SEC filing, just to get a bit more perspective. So we have here, let's say, around 20 million shares that they're offering. I do believe this is going to go towards Meta in terms of the merger itself. So I don't think this is going to go, the proceeds of that, I really doubt it's going to go towards the shareholders. But even if we do, you're probably adding around $1 extra per share, so going to $1.40. Still a little bit short of some of the crazy numbers that I've seen out there from $7 to $13. I'm not sure what they're on or how they got these numbers. And I did go towards a little bit more of a lenient number system last time, looking into their how many acres they have, etc. What is the current price per acre for the kind of land that they hold. The current agreement, there's a lot of questions. Hey, when is this agreement happening? So I'm going to read this here. The arrangement is expected to close in the first half of 2021 and is to be implemented in a wave of arrangement, blah, blah, blah. And the arrangement or the agreement may be terminated by either party after March 31st, 2021 if the agreement is terminated prior to that date, either party, etc., etc. And we will pay around $2 million for termination. Usually this date, around March 31st, usually things happen that the merger itself happens before that date. At least that's my experiences with reverse mergers. So there we go. We have a speculative date. It's in the first half of 2021. Speculative date before the end of the month, around March 31st. We do have around 45 cents per share in terms of special dividend, and it's a lot less from my last video of 170. You can watch the previous one as well and try to compare and tell me what you know. So we're going to move on towards technical analysis now. If you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. It helps my channel a lot, and make sure to join our Discord. You can ask me any questions you have about this video. So on TRCH here, you get to see that on a 1 week perspective, the 10 SMA is above the 30 SMA, and that's really looking bullish. 50 SMA is above 200 SMA. And that, or sorry, the 200 SMA is actually above the 50 SMA, but the 50 SMA is climbing up higher, which is very bullish. And that might just be going right off your head. So what I'm going to say is these are actually bullish things. You see the 10 SMA, the green line, is acting like a support trend line, and currently it's 207 to 127. And this is the trading action zone where positive reversals are likely. And the ADX might say, hey, it's a little bit overextended from 483, and we've seen that dip, so it's fine. And we get to see the MACD is retracting a little. Willing percent R is sitting a little bit in neutral, and momentum is still strong. Now, on a 1 day perspective, we get to see that, well, we might actually be here looking for a positive reversal. Momentum is creeping up to 0, which is amazing. William percent R is seeing that, hey, this one is a little bit overbought today. And the ADX here, what we're seeing is that we might actually see as well a reversal, which is amazing. We get to see this bullish kicker after a bit of accumulation. 10 SMA is above the 30 SMA and 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA. There's a trading action zone, even though it's thin, around the 240 to 232. And if the price falls within there, you can expect it to bounce right back. On a 2-hour perspective, things are looking as well bullish. We get to see it's above the moving averages. The ADX shows that there is a there is actually a strong trend currently. Well, 8% R is a bit overbought. Well, actually, it is overbought. And the MACD is showing a really strong movement, a bullish movement, and momentum is bullish. Now, on the moving average perspective, what we get to see is that 303 is on the top, 275 is in the middle, and 248 in the bottom. So that's where you can expect to trade on. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing upwards, and it's definitely showing a really nice move here for the longer term, or perhaps even just a swing. In terms of the chart itself, we see Fibonacci retracements support at 252, 197, and 130. Significant resistances lie at the 306, 384, and 483. And so these are really good levels, but we need to take a quick look into the manual part, the price line actions themselves for supports and resistances. The current support sits at 231. Below there, you're looking at 210. Below there, you're looking somewhere around 180. Below there, you're looking at 160 and 144. Significant resistances are, we're looking right onto here at 280, and then 311, and then 236.7. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think? What's going to happen? Well, if you're going to play this, there's one thing that I want you to make sure to play this on. You're playing it because of meta materials. I went on to discuss this in my last video, that this one here, play it as a meta materials play in the merger, as if you're acquiring meta materials rather than going ahead and going on for the dividends, because the dividends actually, based on their actual numbers, might not even be worth it there, around 50 cents per share. And I know some people of armies are writing down in the comments, hey, you idiot, etc, etc, it's gonna worth a lot more. But this is an actual valuation they gave their own properties. And if you don't believe me, go up and look at the last 10Q and read the details. You find it there. Make sure to subscribe, leave notifications on, and have a wonderful day.